Turning now to our own expert, Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin, Executive Vice President here at the Family Research Council. General, your thoughts on the hearing today?
Well, I agree with everything Christina said, Tony, and I think there's another very important thing here, though, that did come out today, and that is that General Scott Miller did tell the chairman of the Joint Chiefs that the the Afghan army might collapse much quicker than had previously been, I think, forecast. And that information, in fact, went to the president. And he obviously didn't remember that. So what I took away from today's hearings is when he said there was a unanimous consent here, did anybody object? Did anybody have a different opinion? And he said, I don't recall.
Let me play this clip. This is a clip number 9. This is the president being interviewed by George Stephanopoulos about this very thing. Clip number 9, please.
Your top military advisors warned against withdrawing on this timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops.
No, they didn't. It was split. That wasn't true. That wasn't true.
They didn't tell you that they wanted troops to stay?
No, not in terms of whether we were going to get out in a time frame, all troops. They didn't argue against that.
So no one told, your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No one said that to me that I can recall.
So the 3 generals, well, 2 generals, Secretary of State that testified today, all said that they didn't give the president that advice. Right. So if they're split, who else would have been in the room advising the president?
Nobody. I don't know who else could have been there. Jake Sullivan, I'm sure, was in the room. But look, this is problematic either way. Either the president is lying or he actually doesn't recall, which is even maybe more frightening, that he doesn't remember something that important, that he got the advice that he got from his senior military advisors. That's frightening. And it makes you wonder, really, about the veracity of the claims that he's struggling with cognitive problems.
What else in today's hearing struck you?
Yeah. The other thing that struck me, though, was Marsha Blackburn when she dug into Milley today about what he actually said to the Chinese leader that he talked to, and there were a couple of others that asked him the same questions. What did he say? And he admitted that he basically said, if we're going to attack, if there's going to be a war, I will call you. Well, somebody's got to take that and use that as a start point for a major investigation, I believe, in terms of whether he has violated either federal statute or military regulations. Because I will just say this, and this sounds extreme, but I've looked at the definition of treason, and it is providing, among other things, is providing aid or comfort to the enemy. Right now, China is an enemy. And if we had declared some kind of conflict, or if the president had made a decision that he was going to launch some kind of attack, which he was never even close to, but that would have made them a legitimate enemy, and this guy had promised to call them and tell them.
Right. He was pressed on it. He was pressed by another member saying, well, do you think your Chinese counterpart will advise you when they're moving to invade Taiwan? And then also Senator Josh Hawley asked for them to resign there at the hearing today based upon...
Well, he wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
It was recommended by a number of people there that they resign.
What was the most damaging piece of information that came forth today for this administration?
Yeah, I think it was the fact that the recommendations from his military advisors he ignored. And by the way, they didn't question them about it, but the Secretary of State gave them the same recommendation. Yeah. And I think that means that somebody else is advising him.
Yeah.
Either that or he is he is the worst foreign policy president in history.
I mean, it's certainly not to say that the president could, at the end of the day, disagree with his military leaders and go a different
They do
course.
it all the time.
That's his prerogative. But with the disastrous outcome of this, the buck stops then with Joe Biden.
Stop and think about the fact that he had his military advisors and his Department of State that were advising him not to do this. It was not only don't withdraw all the troops, it was don't do this evacuation the way you're planning to do it. Don't force us to close Bagram.
Right.
Don't ask us to secure Kabul airport and get people out.
We got to leave it there, General.